What up, guys? So, really short video tonight. I just wanted to say, if you are growing as a person, and you're changing, and you feel like you're coming more into alignment, or if you feel like you're more connected to your purpose, to your soul, whatever it is, if you feel like you're living more in the flow, if you're leaning more into life rather than running away, whatever words I use to describe it, if you feel like you're just basically being more yourself and you're shining more, there are going to be people that come into your life that tell you what you're doing is wrong or not okay, or that you should correct your course. I haven't experienced this a ton myself, as I've changed a little bit recently and some of my goals have changed a little bit recently. Like, I decided to forego grad school for the time being and put more of my efforts into starting a coaching business, a life coaching business. I was met with some resistance by some family and friends. None of it was super strong, but there was some shock and incredulity, if that's a word. And I think for someone without a lot of conviction in what they're doing, a lot of that external validation that is pulled away can cause a complete collapse in your goals and your values. So if I wasn't as convicted as I am about what I'm doing now, it'd be very easy for me to look to those other people and listen to their opinions and go back to what I was doing and not listen to my own intuition. And it's not to say that making a choice is black and white. It's not just your intuition. It's not just other people's opinions. It's always good to take into account other people's opinions just to make sure you're not going completely crazy. But ultimately, I do think the majority of your choices should be coming from your own heart and your own soul and your intuition. And if you're encountering resistance from other people, first of all, it's usually a good sign, because it means you're changing. And a lot of people in your life, though they really do truly love you, they may just love a certain version of you. And if they sense that you're changing, they might have a lot of resistance coming up in them, and they might fight that change. So they might say, hey, Jeff, I don't think you should do this because I'd rather you do this. And what it could really mean deep down is, hey, you know what? I feel comfortable when you were acting this way, and I really don't want you to act this other way because I don't know how to handle that. You might be different. So oftentimes the resistance we face is just unconscious fear from people around us. And I'm not saying there's anyone in my life specifically that I'm thinking of. I think it's just very common in any time that we're going through change. There's going to be people that don't understand us, and they're scared of losing us, and they're going to try to hold on to us by providing counter arguments to what we're telling them. So number one, it's good that people are creating some resistance, because I think what it forces you to do is double down on your convictions and really make sure that you're committed to what you're doing. And that's what it's doing to me, is it's really making me commit to my journey of becoming a coach and being a mentor to people, because that's really what I've wanted to do. And that resistance is very often a good sign, because it means you're changing. And number two, if people are resisting what you're going through, it can be very helpful, because there are some people that naturally are meant to just fade away from your life, or certain habits that are naturally meant to fade away. So you might find that certain habits no longer bring you the same joy. Hanging out with certain people might just be a little different than it was before. And it's nothing bad, it's just change. The only constant in life is change. So if you feel like certain things are being ripped away, because it might feel painful if there's certain habits that you no longer enjoy that you used to, or there's certain people that you used to hang out with that you no longer feel compelled to hang out with them, or if there's new boundaries that you find yourself creating and people aren't respecting them, then it's okay to let these things fall away and for you to keep going with what you're doing. Because the world needs people of conviction, and people who are living from their heart, and people who are truly living their truth. Not to say they're ignoring outside voices, but they're not letting those outside voices deter them from what they're doing. So if you've recognized any of these external voices of resistance, think of it as a good sign to keep going, double down on what's working, let go of what's not, and just use it to really hammer home the fact that you are moving in the right direction and you are becoming more into alignment and you're becoming more focused and driven on what really matters in your life. Peace out.